Hey, it's PHILA, and you're watching PHILA TV, the ultimate YouTube channel. I'm no cinematographer, just a dude with a camera and a dude with an obsession for mango seeds. Anyways, this will be my final project. I've got pretty good success, so now I'm going to duplicate this. As you can see, I got two freshly opened and one that's, in its way of going. So it's just a few days old. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit here and I'm going to peel all this paper off because I noticed that's what gets, rotted out the first time. Then I'm going to lay paper towel down in this cup. I'm going to lay the seeds on top of the paper towel, cover it up with another paper towel, and put a lid on it and take a picture of it every day and document exactly how long it takes until I see a branch growing out. As you can see, this just has the top taproot, and in there, there's a little tiny branch, but I'm going to wait till it's significant and you can really tell what's going on. And I'm going to document it every day. I'll be back. All right, me again. I've decided to change it up a little bit, and I'm only going to peel this paper coating off of one. And I'm going to leave the other one intact, and we'll just see how bad that gets, because that gets pretty slimy and gets pretty gross. And as you can see, this thing came off all nice in one piece. These are really fresh. I just cut them open, and I'm going to get these things going. Okay, so I got the first paper towel in. I'm going to hit it with the water bottle, the squirt bottle, and get some moisture going in there. And I'm going to just lay these two guys in here. Give it another little minor squirt, and then I'm going to put a fresh paper towel just lightly laying over it. And then I'm going to hit it with a couple more drops. I'm going to put the lid on it. And then I'm going to put a piece of tape over this top here so I can write on it. And I'm just going to write today's date because I know it's inside, so I'm just going to write 7/1/20. And then we'll start watching it, like I said, every single day at about 10 o'clock in the morning. Now, just to give you an idea how this has been working pretty well for me, you could see that I've put a couple of different kinds in here. Look at the roots that thing's got. And it's just a little bit damp. So I'm going to put all these back in, like so. Put the cover back in it. Give it another squirt, just for good measure. And this is a lid that's not even labeled, but I don't remember exactly how long this has been in here. So, like I said, I'm going to do one on a daily basis. Okay, here are our seeds on day 6. As you can see, that's got a lot of growth going on. That's the one that I pulled the paper off of. And I don't know if it makes any difference, but this took a little while to get fired up because now, same thing, day 6, and it's got a little bit of a root that just started last night. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the container. I've moved to a taller container. I'm going to stand it up at the container like this to get that taproot pointing in that direction, and then hopefully the trunk will come out at the top. And I'm going to even do the same thing with this. Because as you can see from these other ones, that just after, about a week, they're going to get out of control. So my idea is to put it, into these pots. This is what I use for my mangoes. So that's all buried. Normally it grows like this, and then the top of the seed fries in our California sun. So as you can see, that one's ready to pot up, which I'll probably do maybe tonight. And then this one here, you see how that is meant to lay on the ground like that. I'm trying to stand it up to get the trunk to stand up straight and the roots to point downward. This seed is starting to give off a little bit of rot, but I think that once the taproot starts, it doesn't really have much use for the seed. As you can see, I've turned this thing to try and get it to grow in a different direction. I don't know. So far there's no trunk coming out of it. I think that maybe on this side one started to grow and died off. So I'm just going to leave this one in paper towels. These other two I'll probably wind up planting off. Okay, the next step is I take my little pots, and like I said, normally these things are laying down, but I just kind of lay them on the dirt, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stuff a bunch of paper towels, a little bit more soil in here, and then a bunch of paper towels around here on either one of these, and then I'm going to put, just the top of a plastic water bottle. It kind of fits on here, and that, I don't want to give it too much dirt because they tend to dry out too fast and they slow down their growth. So, like I said, I pack it with wet paper towels, throw a little cover on it, and I check it every day. So I want you to see what this looks like after a few days, because as you can see that these were all growing. And there's the latest project. And so here's one that's all ready. Okay. And I just keep taking the lid off of this and I squirt it with some paper towel. Some water. And then, as you can see, the trunk is coming up. It should pop up by tomorrow, which I'll get some shots of that. And then look at the root, just went completely crazy. So I think it's going to do pretty good. And so here's all the different stages that I'm practicing on. I put a little skewer here so I saw where this was coming up, and in a day this one came up. And this is one that I had that actually was growing inside of a seed already. And the hardest thing is to try and center them in these little pots. And then this was the first one that I did. As you can see, it hangs over to the end of the pot. So my idea is I'm going to get this out, in a couple of weeks, and put this in, get these all into 1 gallon. So my method, I figured out, is foolproof. As you might have saw in one of my other videos, I had a bunch of, crunchy ones that completely died off. But as you can see, I've really got this figured out. And it's pretty easy, I just wrap it in the towel, put it into a deli cup, and just let it grow. So we're going to get back to this one as we go by day to day, because like I said, today is day 6, and we are going to wrap this up, put it back in the deli cup, and then we'll get this to look like this just after a few days. So I'm going to button this up. Got them wrapped back up in paper towels. And this one is just going to get, a lid, and this one's going to get a lid. And I'm in Southern California, and it is going to be well over 100 degrees tomorrow, and it was today and yesterday. So I put these out in the morning for a couple hours, then I bring them into my nice, air-conditioned shop in the evenings. In the late afternoon, and then I take them back out. So this is the final day. It's numbered day 15. Okay, I know you've been waiting for it. Here's one picture every day for the first 15 days. Hope you enjoy it. Of this last of my mango projects. So here's what we got going on. It's time to pot these things up. They've been, growing in and out of these containers for, like I said, 15 days. And the test was going to be to see if the one that I left the paper on was going to grow faster than the one without the paper. Okay, so here we go. This is the one that I took the paper off of. It had a couple of leaves that were stuck and it wasn't allowing it to emerge. So I helped it along a little bit and it finally popped out. So this is the cool thing, is that I made these grow vertically. So my trunk will be right in the very center of the pot. As you see, when these things, when the seeds land on their side, then they're in the corners. So anyways, these are the two. So you know, this is the one I left the paper on. And we got a nice 3-inch trunk going on. And this was the fatter, healthier one. Like I said, it had some problems emerging, but it did come out. So we're going to get those potted up. We're going to put them in the rack and see. One that would have had that was kind of a failure, I haven't looked at in a while. What had happened is that the trunk actually rotted. So the roots kept growing, but I couldn't get any kind of base trunk to come out of it. So that's kind of a dud. And here's the rest of them. It's pretty amazing. Look at the spiralness of this one. And then here we have one that has 3 trunks. This one had started coming out of the, emerging while it was still inside the pit. And as you can see, out of this dozen, I have one that's, semi-failure. Who knows, maybe I'll put a slit in it and just let it sit in there. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed these videos. Give me a thumbs up and please subscribe. And remember, you can always find me on Instagram at PHILA TV channel. Again, this is my mango growing project, total of about 2 months. Had a couple of failures, and then when I figured it out, here's how it worked. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.